It's time for Wacky World Studios Sketching with Steven, featuring art director Steven Walker.
Hey there, Wacky fans! Welcome back to another episode of Sketching with Steven. Today I've got a special treat for you. We're going to be drawing a different kind of character this time around. We've been drawing mostly animals up to this point, but I thought today we could draw our founder, Mr. Bruce Berry. Sometimes when we're drawing flat 2D characters, we need to think about them in 3 dimensions. So we created this sculpture so that we could turn it around and see Bruce in 3 dimensions as a cartoon character. Now, one thing about Bruce is he's got wild hair. So we're gonna get very acquainted with our friend, the shark fin. We've done lots of shark fins up before. Bruce has more of those in that crazy hair there. Okay, now it's time to loosen up. So before we get started drawing Bruce, make sure you rotate those shoulders, loosen those arms. Okay, there's lots of loose shapes in there. That wacky hair, of course. Shake those arms out. Okay, and as usual, I've pulled a bunch of reference photos before our drawing class here. So I actually have several drawings here of Bruce, just in different poses. Bruce has a lot of emotions. He's a big personality. So sometimes he's very thoughtful. He's thinking about what kind of cool environments he's gonna dream up next. So here's a thoughtful Bruce. Okay, and of course, Bruce is a master painter. So here is our standard Bruce with his paintbrush in hand and his paint palette. This is the look we're gonna give him today. Now, as usual, I've drawn a drawing ahead of time so you can kind of see what our finished drawing will look like. In this drawing, you'll see there's a circle in his head. Even though you can't necessarily see it like some of our other characters, we still start with a circle. Okay, now let's get started. Bruce is a very tall figure, so we're probably gonna wanna turn our page this time. We're gonna do it in a portrait view, which means it's gonna be long ways in front of you. Okay, now with all of our characters, we're gonna start with a circle. So let's get started drawing a nice circle shape right in the center of your page. Keep it nice and light, about the size of a tennis ball. Okay, now Bruce also has guidelines that's gonna help us place all those features on his face. Let's do a line going top to bottom and curving slightly towards the left side of your page. And then we're gonna do a horizontal guideline that goes left to right and curves towards the bottom. You know, the fun thing about Bruce is that he's taught lots and lots of artists to draw over the years, and now we get to teach you how to draw Bruce. Okay, so the very first feature we're gonna start with are his eye shapes. Now, Bruce has very round, circle eyes, so let's draw very lightly. The first one on the left side of your vertical guideline, very light and loose. Okay, and then we're gonna take another circle over to this side, a little larger, it's closer to us. It's about halfway between the guideline and the side of your circle. Okay, now Bruce is a really happy guy. His cheeks are gonna be pushed up into his eyes, so we're gonna draw a little bump underneath each of those eyes for that cheek. So just a little curved line there, bottom of that circle. You'll do it on both eye shapes. And one thing with your eyes, if you make the top line a little thicker, it'll actually look like an eyelid. All right, next let's draw Bruce's nose. Okay, now his nose is actually gonna start with the bridge, and we're gonna take it down from way up here at the top of your circle. Little curved line, it'll go past the side of your left eye there. And it'll stop just below where the guidelines meet, center. A little curved line there for the bridge of his nose. Okay, and he's got a little pointed nose, so his nose is gonna be almost like a letter C. It'll curve up and then back down. Okay, so the next thing now that his nose is drawn, we're gonna draw his smile. As you can see, he's a very happy guy with that big smile. So let's draw the top of his smile line first. It's gonna be right here below his cheek, a little curved line. Okay, now Bruce's smile is almost like the smile on a happy face. It's gonna curve down, back up like a letter U. It'll stop before it goes outside your circle. Stop it right there. That's the top of his smile. Okay, then we'll do the inside of his smile, the inside of his mouth. It's gonna be another curved line, another U shape. About the same shape as the one you just drew, just curves down lower. Okay, and Bruce is showing his teeth, so let's go ahead and draw a little curved line there. That's where his teeth are. Okay, and let's draw his lower lip. His lower lip is right below that with the letter U. Big long U shape there. Okay, and there's his mouth. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna fill in the sides of his face. Bruce has a very, very strong chin, so it's a very, very broad chin. To draw that chin shape, we're actually gonna come off the side of our circle here. We're gonna very lightly kind of sketch that chin shape in. That's gonna go down and out, a curved line. We're gonna do the same kind of thing off the side of our circle over here. Another curved line. Okay, and then you're gonna connect those two lines with another long curved line. All right, so the next thing, Bruce has a beard, so we're gonna give him his beard next. His beard is actually gonna start way up here where that smile started. It's actually gonna follow the same shape as his smile. So you're just gonna draw another curved line up here. That's gonna go all the way over to the side of his face now. There is his beard now. Okay, and then we've got the rest of his beard on this side. Gonna come down from that dimple. It'll curve all the way down to the bottom of his chin. So then on this side, we've got the rest of that beard curving off the top of his lip. It'll curve down, makes like a letter J shape. It goes back up to his chin. Okay, and then you do the same thing on this side. Another J shape, a little bigger, closer to us. Bring that back around and then up to that dimple. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and just lightly shade that beard in. That'll kind of separate it from the rest of his face. Just turn your pencil on its side or your pen. Just quickly scribble that in. Now, if you want to draw his neck, we can draw a little bit of his neck here. There's a little curved line coming off the bottom of his chin there, and then off the side of his cheek there, the other side. And Bruce loves to wear black. He's always wearing a black t-shirt. So we're gonna put a black t-shirt on him, a little curved line here into that shoulder. It's almost like a letter S. Then another curved line for the other shoulder. And since that t-shirt's black, go ahead and shade that in. Okay, so that finishes off the whole bottom half of Bruce's face. So now let's go up to the top and finish off those features. Right here on the side of his face, we're gonna start with his brow. We're gonna take this curved line and curve it out a little bit, and then curve it back to where the bridge of your nose is. There's that brow shape. Okay, and then at the very top of that brow is where his eyebrow is. So let's draw an eyebrow in there with a little teardrop. Create a little teardrop at the very top. And then we could draw the other eyebrow over the other eye. Another teardrop shape. There's his eyebrows. Okay, it's time. We're gonna draw Bruce's hair. Now, Bruce does have that wild, wacky hair, so it is a little tricky to draw, but I'm gonna break it down to try to help make it a little easier for you. So let's start by drawing his forehead. The forehead is just gonna curve off his eyebrow just a little bit. little curved line right there above his eyebrow. Now from that curved line, we're gonna draw the bangs that go down in front of his forehead. So we're gonna draw one shark fin curving over to the right. Okay, so one little shark fin there. Then one more curving off that shark fin. They can all be different sizes. Okay, and then maybe a smaller one from that shark fin. Curve up. Okay, and then he's got that nice wavy flowing hair. So let's draw a letter S that curves off that last shark fin and off to the side. Create that wavy hairline. Okay, now under his hair, you're gonna see a little hint of his ear. So his ear is just the letter C. So let's draw that ear in right here. Okay, and the inside of his ear is just gonna be two curved lines. One's gonna curve up off the side of his cheek. And then the other one curves down from the one you just drew. Two curved lines create that ear. And then he's got a little sideburn here. Let's give him that sideburn. Just a little curved line that goes down into the side of that cheek. And the sideburn is also under his hair, so it's in shadow. So if you want to shade it in, you can quickly scribble that in as well. Okay, so let's do the flowing hair on the other side of his head now. So just a little bit to the side of this first shark fin we drew, we're gonna draw another long flowing S curve. I'm gonna sit out there for now. Okay, and then we're gonna create another little shark fin, the very point of that. And then take another long flowing curve down to his shoulder. Now let's go back up to the top. We're gonna do a couple more shark fins up here. We'll do one that comes out. They can all be different sizes. Maybe a little smaller one next. Smaller one on top of that. Maybe another bigger one. Okay, and then a bigger one still. There's all those shark fins on the front part of his hair. Again, it's very wild, so you can have fun with it. You can make those shark fins all different shapes and sizes. Okay, so where we ended this shark fin, we're gonna draw a small one poking up. This is where the part in his hair is. Draw a small shark fin right here. Maybe a bigger one coming up off of that one. And then they're gonna start going the other direction. So I'm gonna have this next one curve out away from the one we just drew. And then another one off of that. So those shark fins kind of start going the other way because that's the part in his hair. Okay, so now we have to finish off that long flowing hair on the back side. So we're gonna create another long S curve that curves out away from his face. Let's end that one with another shark fin here. And then we'll take this curved line, extend his shoulder out just a little bit. And we'll bring that all the way down to his shoulder. Okay, and you can add some more little lines in there if you want, just to give him a little extra detail in his hair. Okay, and there it is, there's his hair. Okay, now the very last thing that I always like to do are the pupils. I save those for last because they really bring your character to life. Let's go ahead and add those pupils in for Bruce. He's gonna have nice round pupil shapes. Draw two large ovals, circles in the corners of his eyes there. Okay, and then inside that, put another little circle and put a little highlight in that one. And then you can shade that. All right, and there you have it. There's Bruce. So of course, when you're done, you can color your drawing. So feel free to color Bruce. He does have blonde hair, so color it blonde. And then sign it, of course, when you're finished. All right, thank you again so much for drawing Bruce with me. I thought it was appropriate to do him. He's obviously the one who started everything here at Wacky World. He's built so many environments over the years that have touched so many thousands of people around the world, and I just thought this would be a great tribute to him. Please send us your drawings, show us your work. We're really excited to see that. And if you have any suggestions or any requests for future episodes, please let us know. I'm always happy to take requests. Thank you again so much, and I hope you have a great day.
Quack, quack.